What is up? What is up, guys? Welcome back to another DePIN Happy Hour. An exciting Thursday night, exciting week,
Cheers.
guys. Cheers. Yes, cheers, everyone. Super stoked. We have an awesome guest here, Mr. Wi-Fi. How's it going, man? What's going on?
Great. I've been busy, back-to-back meetings, a lot, just talking to a lot of new people who are curious about the space. What is DePIN? How does this work? As people know me, I've been in the carrier space for quite a while. I was a principal engineer at Verizon Wireless for almost 8 years, worked at other carriers as well. So I live and breathe the new technology and DePIN. So that's kept me very busy, a lot of long nights, 14-hour days.
Oh my God. Yeah. I definitely feel the sentiment. I've been building out my little deployment business and doing content and all that at the same time. So I just feel like I'm always working on something constantly. And then like one thing goes wrong, I got to put this fire out. Then the other thing goes wrong, got to go over here and put this fire out. And then now I get to do the happy hour every Thursday. So it's like my little vacation. It's like this. I consider this a little vacation away from all of that. But, we got Brad in here too now. Perfect. I guess, Mr. Wi-Fi, I guess break down, since we got you here, I would love to maybe get a background story, like how you got into DePIN and then kind of leading up to where you're at now with things.
Yeah. I mean, background is I have a telecom background. For people who don't know me, I was a principal network engineer for quite a few years. I also worked as a cybersecurity engineer for several years. So having this kind of background helped a lot getting into the space. So when DePIN kind of came around, before it was called DePIN, I remember when and RWA is getting popular now too. Real world assets is taken off more in the real estate space. And I was basically saying, I hate how slow and how complicated it is to work in telecom. Why can't we move faster, be more innovative? And the original message that Helium came out with, which was really, we want affordable or free connectivity everywhere in the world through whatever medium that is. That message really resonated with me, and I think with a lot of other people in the space, and said, heck yeah, how can we make this easier? And, everyone knows the journey we've been on. It's been quite a ride. The journey's, I don't think it's over either, because it's pretty amazing to get to where we are today. So one thing that happened here, so we had our first turn that everybody knows about in the IoT days. Then we had our second turn with CBRS. And now we're in kind of our third turn here with Wi-Fi offload or Wi-Fi roaming. And that's something I've dived head in with. So I've done a lot of consulting in the space for a lot of startup companies, Web3 companies, helping them get up and running in this space. Had a fantastic time working with them. We've met with everybody in the space, no matter who they are. We try to work with every project and help them grow. And what we give them is extremely high quality locations that are impossible to get from anybody else. So OTA is like, what's a Helium? Yeah.
What's a Helium? What is a Helium? What is a Helium? The thing you put in balloons, right?
Yeah.
For one Helium, sir.
One Helium. I might need a couple of Heliums.
Interesting is I find like there's so many people from the telecom space that jump over into the DePIN space. Yeah. It just seems to be like a natural transition for that industry. Do you think that there's other industries that are starting to come? Well, I think the answer is yes. I'll answer my own question, but I think compute, like cloud computing, is the next really big venture industry that's coming over to DePIN and saying, hey, we can do this differently. We can do this better.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Decentralized GPU, decentralized compute. I'm actually excited about all those areas too. I've been running for 5 years now, compute, GPU. I'm very excited about some projects. I've seen some projects take off, which is nice. I still have the same concerns about them when I started, which is we can decentralize it, but can we get the quality up? It's having it, the price, get down to something that's affordable is not a problem at all, I think, in DePIN. The higher bar is establishing trust from the major players and having reliability baked in. So that you don't, because that's, you can just turn it off. And what are you going to do about it? Stop paying them? Oh boy, they'll just go to the next project.
Exactly. I think that there's like different levels to projects though. You got like the ones that are like, I'm a toothbrush, but now I'm a DePIN, right? And then you have like,
hey, that's a legitimate project, all right?
I'm not my
ring.
Right? We give Brusher Network a ton of crap on here, but like we love you guys. Keep doing it.
But I think there's a place for all of it though, right? Yeah. And I think that you can't like diminish a project just because they're like super simple. I think in some essences, those projects are absolutely needed to propel the space forward because they're actual products. right? That are consumer grade products. Once and then the next step up is like small business based products and enterprise grade products. We're going to see a vast difference coming out onto the market soon enough, especially as some of these larger players come in and they feed the ability for these small startups to really move quickly and advance forward fast. So
I think we're almost near that point now where DePIN. We're not there yet, but we're going to get to the point where DePIN is going to be advertised like the what's it called, the drop shipping businesses were. Like everything on YouTube was all about like, oh, you can start your drop shipping business like this and start your own e-commerce store and all that stuff, and like it got like hyped up, right? And so I feel like a DePIN deployment business like that model may get to the point where everyone's like, oh my god, we like you could build infrastructure out, buy all these devices, install them at places, and make money like fairly passively. And I think that we're gonna get there, but we're not there yet. We're gonna get there at some point though, and when that happens, that's when we know we're at the top, and we should all sell our bags and coast off into the sunset. But
I have a contrary take to that. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say the problem is it's going to be very easy for Tesla and some of those major enterprises just to cash flow out, basically DePIN and take all the profits. What we're providing is the alternative, which is you get to now participate in this open economy and get your equal share for what you provide. And I think that the problem is with the way some of these public companies operate is they can't do that. It's not in the best interest of their shareholders, right? So we're kind of flipping the narrative on its head.
I think I was going to say that the contrary take I have is I actually don't think that it's going to be a lot of individuals that are going to be deploying DePINs in the future. I think a lot of that will be centralized. There'll be, I think like one of the big guys is LongFi Solutions. You're going to see concentrations of these deployers that specialize in a particular kit, maybe in an array. I would say like maybe some of the guys that already have a bunch of experience with Helium or XNet deployments, like they'll probably centralize to some degree, and then you'll see them operate on a region by region basis, simply because it's more efficient, like to get more of the network stood up. And then you also have standards, and I think that's a big thing that kind of gets swept over in DePIN is like a lot of people just buy the hardware and plug it in wherever, and there's not necessarily contributing very much, or at least very useful data or connectivity. So that's another thing to consider is like, yes, I do see those ads coming. I know what ads you're talking about. Like, are you sitting down and are you not making money passively in your sleep? You're wasting your time, right? Like all that shit. It's going to be, well, we have this business. We're looking for deployers if you want this like, part-time gig or something like that. Or I don't know.
Okay, so it's delegated DePIN, right? That's kind of what we're talking about.
Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler for that. But it's like, would you roll over knowing the returns on like Helium hotspots, right? Just Helium. Would you roll your 401k over into devices if they were going to be delegated out and actually put up and you got all the proceeds? I think 100% yeah, because we know the return on it's absolutely astronomical. Where else are you going to get a 3 or 4x year over year? Nowhere, right? So there's a very large future for delegated DePIN and RWA plays. So
I definitely agree there. I don't know to what degree, but I agree with most of that for sure. G-Dog, I sent you the link. I DM'd it to you, so you should be able to join now. Just check your Twitter DMs. We have, is that Simeon or Simon? Yeah. It says, I'd say we're already there for the people who actually are taking it seriously. Most just take the passive income and take all the shortcuts possible. But I would say that's yes, that's true. But also, I'm hoping not. the optimistic part of me is like hoping that people aren't, going for the low hanging fruit and trying to, spoof data and do like some shady shit. So, yeah.
Yeah, Simeon looks like he gets it, which is you need high standards and quality deployments. I mean, it's that simple. If you, one of the most important things in your life, right, is being useful, learning how to be useful. And a lot of that can be transcended beyond just you yourself as a person, but it's also what you do. Perhaps you guys have also heard this saying, which is how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you're just kind of putting lackluster effort into your work, whether that be entering things on a spreadsheet or making these DePIN deployments possible, you have to take it serious. And there's a very, very small group of people that take DePIN deployments very seriously, like as a proper profession. And those guys are going to do really well. They'll grow, and you'll see, like I said, like, at least that's my assumption, is that we'll see a fair amount of centralization just because of skill set, accessibility, and knowledge. Like, it will be very valuable, and those guys will get paid.
They are. Shoot, the guys that I know that have over 100 Helium deployments, it's absolutely insane. You know, I don't have near that many, but I'm doing very well for what I have, and it's enough.
I'm curious, how many deployments do you have, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious.
Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head. It's enough that I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, so definitely in the double digits.
Move.
Well,
I'm only at like 7 now.
Depending on what I'm finding though is like it's like 5% of my deployments like are 50% of my income with Helium. It's gotten crazy. It's kind of unpredictable. It's just you just have to have like the right spot, and I'm having trouble finding like what the right metric is for judging a location. It just seems to be like the roll of a dice. Like carriers just like this location, but it's problematic. Like I have one that's literally, I don't know, 300-400 feet away from a cell tower, and for whatever reason, it does really, really well. And whereas I would be like, normally I'd say absolutely not. This would be a terrible location. Then I have ones that are like in the middle of nowhere and have, several thousand people go through there a week, and it gets no carrier offload. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult because of the fact that we don't have direct control over like what carrier offload gets assigned to what hotspot. But yeah, I mean, Simon has a really good point here. The downside of the hype factor is you just sell this thing as being super easy. Otherwise, you won't get new people. I definitely agree with that to a point. Like I've told DePIN projects to advertise to people like us more so. If they want to have like their networks get built out, because we are like the type of person that is going to build it out is us, because we're actively doing it. But I definitely see your point there. I wanted to answer this question from the audience though. CMH says, speaking for myself, the hardest part of DePIN life is approaching small businesses with your products and getting their buy-in, unless you know them personally. Any suggestions? Any suggestions, guys? Mr. Wi-Fi, you got any suggestions?
Russ, you might have some insight here. He signed up a freaking airport.
What?
Actually, 4 airports. Yeah,
4
airports. That's it.
Yeah, he's out here.
Just 4. Sorry,
taking all the business out here, bro. Come on.
Working on the other 10, we'll say. But yeah, all in separate states too, which is funny. So the problem that you're running into is trust. They don't trust you coming in off the street saying, hey, I can make you money. They don't believe it. It's too good to be true. And just install this device. Or if you can get into the discussion, convert your existing equipment, which is way easier once you get access to it. So the issue is, how do you establish trust? So the best way you're going to do that is look professional, have a nice glossy one-pager for when you talk with them that has the bullet points. Both Helium and Exxon have provided those. So my company, Wi-Fi Wireless, does this as well. We have a ton of information. Go ahead and steal it from us on our website, wifiwireless.com.
On it.
We've got guides. Please steal it. Steal all of it. We've got an FAQ. Copy it. We don't care. We're trying to expand the space. We're not trying to like pick and choose winners and losers. We want the space to explode, and that's what we're seeing. Just because, on our end, what I ran into is I was a small-time deployer. I was doing, work on the side. Hey, you get some good deployments. You're making some good side cash. What happens? You start getting good. You start getting big, and you're like, oh, now great. Now I have another job. I got to support these people. I get people calling me, texting me. You usually start with family. Then you expand to friends of friends. And then you usually start branching out because you've just exhausted all those connections. So like right now where I'm at, we're managing 1,237 locations. So it's an insane fleet that we're managing. And on that, I've got 5,448 Wi-Fi APs worldwide. So a lot of that is where I've worked with some of these, people who've said, hey, I've gotten my first 50 deployments, my first 100 deployments, and I'm pulling my hair out, doing tech support, dealing with the messages, dealing with support. They want dashboards. They want payouts. They want status updates. Oh, somebody wants to pay taxes, and their accountant is asking me for info. And it's just a huge hassle. So one thing that I've been expanding into just from my own experience, saying, let's make it easy. Let's give them a platform with dashboards, with payouts. It breaks it down. They can split it. They can sub-split it with whoever they want. But let's just make this a lot simpler and work with everybody. Don't pick just one project. Work with all the projects. Work with Wayru. Work with Carrier One. Work with Helium. Work with XNet. We're all trying to grow the space. And there's like a lot of people are like, oh, aren't you worried about running into another deployer? Okay, there's a billion access points out there. Yes, we'll run into somebody eventually, but my focus has really been the big guys. So I've got like the capital of Madison, Wisconsin, Dane County Regional Airport. I got millions of people going through there. We've got another airport in North Dakota. I've got SeaWorld in San Diego, coming in now. Also, the Las Vegas Strip just came in last week. We are blowing up with onboardings, blowing up with traffic. On top of that, Disney World down in Orlando just came in and went live. So the space is absolutely exploding. Professional operators who can scale and manage their business are going to do really, really well. So what I've run into a lot is, how do I help these other deployers that come in and say, I'm making great money. I want to go to the next level. I want to make amazing, life-changing money. How do I scale up? So what I try to do is say, hey, hand it off to us, and I'll pay you a percentage of that revenue. Depends on the deal, because no two deployers are different. How big are we talking? How much trouble this is? Because I got to figure out how much it costs before I can give you a quote. But say, hey, how about I just write you a check every month? You just refer them to me. And you don't worry about all the stress and hassle, or all the support, or all the projects and all the drama behind the scenes I get to deal with, negotiating with all these projects and troubleshooting issues. And
so it's delegated DePIN. We're just delegating it to you, right?
Pretty much, you're delegating physical deployments.
It's not even that. It's a referral. You're basically paying a referral. That's much. Actually really smart. Yeah, really smart.
And you can keep the best sites for yourself. I don't care. I'm trying to grow the space. That's
keep the ones you can do yourself, and then give you the rest.
Yeah. It's a residual referral fee. Like, that's the nice part. Yeah. Not like a one-time upfront fee.
I know a lot of deployers like I see a lot of small-time deployers are like trying to clutch their pearls and go, I want all for myself. I'll give you 5%. And if you refer somebody to me, I'll give you a one-time payment. We don't operate like that. We're like, no, you get recurring payment as long as there's revenue coming in the door. You get your fee. Like, there's no now, as long as they stay active and stay with us, you're going to get paid for the next several years, or as long as the space lasts, hopefully the next 20, 30 years. So that's
really genius. It's actually really genius.
The other thing is, you guys have partnerships with all of how many different providers do you have partnerships with? So you can optimize each location for the best payout too.
Right. So that's something that we do that I haven't seen anybody else do. So when we have a slider that is optimize revenue or optimize connectivity. So a little secret of Wi-Fi offload: when you charge different rates to the carriers, they offload more or less. If you offload for them for free, they love the traffic. Oh, give me it all. It's free. But when you charge them for it, they offload less. They get a little picky. Like, no, I'm going to reject more and more of these. So what we find with a lot of like school districts, city governments, parks, we'll move it to the left where it's pretty much free offload. And that way they have a much better experience, because they don't care about revenue. It's funny. You'd think everybody cares about revenue with this opportunity. Ironically enough, no. People care more about safety sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, whatever. They're like, you're saving me $150,000 instead of buying a cellular repeater system. I'm already getting paid. I just want it to make sure that students and staff and emergency services can have connectivity, because right now they get nothing.
Yeah.
So
no, I try to sell people on the connectivity thing more so than the actual revenue. Like, I try to talk about the revenue like last. I say, hey, listen, this is going to boost all of your customers' cell phone service. It's going to make their cell phone service stronger, which is going to translate into more sales. You're going to have more people like happy with your business, happy they're here. And so they're more likely to spend money and also give you repeat business because they had an enjoyable cell phone experience. I just wanted to shout out we have a new viewer, Jay Soto. Thank you so much for coming here. He's like, who do you work for? Is this Web3? We work for ourselves. We work for the people. We work for you guys. And yes, this is Web3. At least I hope it is.
He is a regular on my live streams, so he's on there pretty often.
Nice. But yeah, Mr. Wi-Fi, I just want to say I completely love that you're doing all that. So
yeah.
If I may interject, because I don't want to just skip over the fact that my man said Disney World out in Orlando. I mean, I would love if you could talk me through that. What was it like getting even getting the attention of Disney? Second, them admitting, saying yes to joining the meeting, and then third, the details or whatever you could share of putting your product in front of them, the service in front of them, explaining the benefits. And I guess if there were objections, what were they, and how did you? I know this is super loaded, but I would love it if you could walk me through that. How did all of that go? It's insane.
Did Mickey Mouse meet with you? It was like, oh yeah, I love DePIN.
Oh man, for how much I paid in my last trip, I feel like they should be paying. Yeah, should be paying me to come in. But so this is actually very similar. So I'd actually kind of go back. That wasn't the hardest deal I did. The hardest deal I did was actually a bank. They were way harder to deal with than commercial enterprise. So there's different sectors. There's public sector, commercial enterprise, et cetera. These are big meetings. So number one, getting them to even talk to you is very tough. You need an intro. So I actually have a group of salespeople on commission that I work with that go out there, and I say, I will pay you for the deals you bring in, but it's only for the deals. And some of them are in certain parts of the country. Some of them are even outside the US. They usually get the meeting. So you need a lead generator. And there's a couple ways to do that. I'm not going to go into all of them, but yes, you need some type of team. Usually when you're a small-time operator, you're everybody. So it's going to be you. But you need to go out there, prospect, talk to them, go to meetings, go social, talk to your network, anything you can do to talk to somebody. Eventually, you're going to run into somebody who goes, I know a guy there. I used to work with him. I can get you a meeting with an engineer, a decision maker there. And then you get your pitch. And for me, for those pitches, for a deal like that, you got to fly down in person. There's ain't something you can do over the webcam. You got to be there. If you do it over the webcam, might as well kiss it goodbye. You're not serious. So you got to fly down there, dress up, look good, bring somebody if you can. Everything needs to be pitched up. Make sure you have a very good pitch deck down of what you're offering, what the benefit is to them. And you need to suss out before that meeting, do they care about money or experience? Because it's a big split. With me, it's coming up about 50-50. They care about the cash or the money. It depends who you're dealing with. Parks and public sector, they tend to care more about the coverage. But when you start talking with more like ISPs, MSPs, they want the cash. They want the cold hard cash, and they want to know right up front, how much am I going to make? And as we were just talking here, how much you can make, don't know. So talk about a lot of stuff we do that I wish more of the industry would do. We have a revenue estimator on the bottom of our website. Again, you can use this. Please steal it. Use it for yourself. It doesn't matter. It applies to all the DePIN projects that are in the Wi-Fi roaming space. It will tell you the local cell towers, and it will tell you based on how many people go to that location, what you're going to make based on how long they're there. So that's the big thing. So for revenue, come in with those numbers ahead of time. And you better give them a number and say, I think you're going to hit this number once everything's online and it's been going for at least, and you're registered with the carriers, because you don't industry register. You typically got to wait 30 days to get up and running. So come in with that number, tell them, I think you're going to make this much and you should work with me because X, Y, and Z, because I'm the best at this. I know this space. I've been doing this for a while. Look at my other deployments. And you hope that that resonates with the decision maker, whoever that is, your cheerleader inside the account. And they're going to say, okay, we should do this. A big one, a really big one of these bigger accounts is the DAS systems, and say, listen, you don't have to work with me. You can keep doing what you've been doing. How much did you spend on your last digital repeater system or your DAS system? They're going to say, we spent, for them, you're talking millions. They're like millions, possibly tens of millions if they're big enough. So a park like that is going to be pretty big. I can't say what their situation was, but it's going to be a big number. So you're like, okay, or you could spend zero with me. Which one makes more financial sense?
Instant savings, you know?
Yeah.
And potentially earn, So
yeah,
whereas a DAS system, they're not earning.
Right. They're paying out, and they have to pay for maintenance. They have to pay for an engineer that comes out there, takes care of it, replaces equipment. They have to work with carriers, work on those carrier deals. Take a minimum usually 2 years to get per carrier. It's a nightmare. Look at how long it took Helium to get the deal in Mexico. It took 2 years. And that you got to do that for every single carrier. So that's the other thing. Other part of it that I use to kind of distinguish myself, and by the way, you can do it on your own, or you can work with me or work with someone else. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to grow the space. Is the number of carriers you support is a big, big difference. So we support 258 carriers, most of anybody in the space. You, depending on who you're working with, usually support between 5, 7, maybe 8 carriers, and that's counting all the little guys, the MVNOs. So I support 258 across 100 countries, and that right there is like, whoa! I didn't know. You mean I'm gonna have a better experience with this? So you got to find these differentiators, whatever they are for you. Maybe it's your history, who you work with, how you do. But you got to have that track record coming in, and they got to trust you. So establishing trust is the big one, and that's why you usually hire salespeople. They're very good. You don't want somebody who's too slick, but slick enough who's likable and knows these accounts, and hopefully has sold to them before. Those people are pretty expensive. So that's kind of a high level how it works.
I want to share the website here. Sorry, I threw it up just now. No, I just used the estimator. This thing is actually really sick. It tells you all the towers nearby and the cellular coverage. Tells you how many towers are in there, like according to the provider, so AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and then you can also put in like the foot traffic estimator along with dwell times, like average dwell times, and then it'll give you right down here, estimated offload and estimated earnings. Wow, and is that per month basis or?
It can be day, month, or year. Depends on your foot traffic. So your foot traffic, if that's day, month, or year, that's what your estimate is.
Oh wow, that's very interesting. Yeah, this is sick. This is really really cool.
How did you get the data to verify which carrier is good in certain areas?
Yeah, so we actually have our own. We actually purchased the they call it the baseline drive data or the network test data, and then we process it ourselves. So it wasn't cheap. It cost us 5 figures to get that data together.
And are you getting that on a like recurring basis
Yep.
or like a one time? Okay.
Minimum of twice a year, can be usually 4 to 5 times a year. Yep.
Interesting. What if would it be valuable if there was something maybe closer to real time, but closer to real time, and you can get it more frequently? Like again, this network coverage data.
Yeah. So I actually think that's going to happen soon. I've had a couple discussions with a couple projects that are working on that because they're measuring signal strength. We've got a couple up there, and even new projects coming out of Stealth. So yes, anyone who measures signal strength on the carriers could have this data and create a centralized marketplace. I haven't seen someone sell it first. It's a very profitable business that's been around a while, but absolutely this could be done in real time. It's just somebody needs to step up who collects all that data and puts it up for, makes it a Web3 offering. Absolutely. I haven't seen someone with the money to put that together because the costs of maintaining that data are pretty prohibitive.
It's high. Yeah. We, I'm a community manager over at 375 AI, which we do a lot with real world data. But one of the parts of our ecosystem, we made this mobile app, which is effectively that of qualifying and the network quality data in a certain area, or it's accessible to anybody in the world. And it can basically give you that, as close to real time tracking of how good or poor network coverage is, even like by carriers. We can see, if it's Helium or if it's like AT&T or Verizon or whoever.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, sorry to plug in, company or whatever, but that
No, you're good, bro.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just the first thing that popped into my head. So.
Yeah, I'd love to see that too. I've had a couple of discussions with people who are getting it together. A lot of people who already have that data are like, allergic to Web3, so it's hard to talk to them. And plus, they're making such good money. I mean, they're selling subscriptions for usually 5 figures minimum, like what I paid.
Wow, so, God, I need to get in that business.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
We should talk offline. I would love to introduce you to the guys.
Yeah. Happy to talk with them, work with them, and I'm friendly to projects like Deep. Talked with them several times. Love working with their team. I talked to a lot of compute projects as well. Threefold, very close with Threefold.
Nice.
They've had a lot of challenges, but they recently hosted the DePIN Summit in Zanzibar. So I think that's a good sign here. There, and I'll probably, like a little leak here, a little preview. I'll probably be one of the very first to have their new cell phone they're coming out with, which will work with Helium, and most of the other MVNOs will be completely unlocked. So I'll probably have an exclusive. I'll be the first reviewer in the world with their Freedom phone.
Russ has all the alpha. Where have you been on my whole life, Russ? What happened?
So yeah. And actually, I'm probably going to throw Helium on the phone, test it. We'll probably do a full review and breakdown, and make sure it works. And we'll show. I probably should do a live video of like how offload works 101, because it's funny, for all these years, none of us have posted a full video of it. So that one I mentioned was called Threefold. It's been around a long time. The token, like a lot of DePIN tokens, is taking a beating, but it's still going. Mm-hmm. Humongous development team. I give them props though. Well, the price has suffered. They have like 20 plus developers who, and mostly have stuck through the project for at least 4 years. So, yeah,
wow,
hopeful for them. But as far as compute projects, they aren't the most successful. There's many other ones we could talk about that have done very, very well.
Yep. Akash is one of them for sure.
Akash has done very well. I know Aether claims they have a lot of revenue, but I don't know what. Yeah,
on Aether, dude. Like,
I mean, I'm not shitting on them per se. All I'm saying is that like I've heard things. I would love to have them on sometime to clarify said things. I've just heard things. So I mean, I run a checker node and I've made some money on it. So
they're claiming like 115 million a year, something like that. I think it's like 115 million is what they're claiming a year. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of money.
That's a big number.
Big number, yeah.
What about exhibits? Is that's one you'd put your money on, Brad? And saying,
hell yeah, they haven't had their token launch, but yeah, they just partnered with Nosana now too. They partner with all of the other major players, so their token should launch later.
Do we foresee a lot of these GPU compute projects like teaming up, like basically integrating with each other and becoming like kind of one entity as opposed to having 16 or 30 different GPU compute DePINs?
I think each of them, so I think they're all going to exhibit as like the base layer of compute, and then I think a lot of the different platforms are going to be able to have different offerings in different ways. So I don't know how much consolidation we'll have, but I think a lot of them will roll up to exhibits because they're building out like legit data centers.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
or we all just get deep nodes and we do it that way. Which speaking of which, we're sponsored by Deep. Just wanted to say that.
Oh, I have shelves of deep nodes, so I'm hoping they do well.
Shelves? I only got one. What the hell?
I think we're going to see brokers for GPU and CPU and computing DePIN projects. Someone's just going to be like, all right, well, I want to be able to broker deals and offer all these different projects and be able to hook projects up and kind of be the middleman. And I don't think that there's a problem with that. I think it's actually pretty legit opportunity there if you have the right connections with people that need compute and rendering stuff. So
yeah,
look at that, Quez. We got another one.
Another one bites the dust. No,
yeah, 375
if you're not in the community, pull up, son. Like, I mean, just the fact that you're even here is already pretty great.
You gotta give him a track. You gotta put a track, use your Roadcaster, and then like kind of ease him into it. Yeah. Check this out, Brad. It's really sick. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the one and only greatest show of all time, the DePIN Happy Hour. We're here with man Brian, Brad, William, and Russ. And if you're looking for something to get some real information, you have come to the right place. Stay tuned for more.
Well, clip it, guys.
Oh, I'm definitely clipping that for the short. That's going to be in the short. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Yo, I saw Pop's comment earlier. He was like, Quez should be a late night DJ or something. Like late night DJ.
You have the voice today, brother. You have the voice.
Well, he's got the mic now. He's at the Roadcaster set up. He's trying to out professional me and Tyler and Brad over here. Brad, I don't even see your mic, Brad. Your mic's like off camera. I don't even know what kind it is. Oh, it's okay. Nice.
RE20 out here. Yeah.
Nice. Now, see, I'm missing a Roadcaster. I need to get one or like a Go XLR or something. I need a Pacifico too.
I need a Pacifico too.
And Quez is like, I got one.
I got one here.
I'm gonna hit up my wife right now. I'm gonna call her and be like, pick up some beer.
Anyway, if you got that quote, you're a nerd.
Look at that. Jay Soto's like, I need a Pacifico now.
Where's the Deep community at? That's right.
Got a ton of folks here already. I would say Bob is probably, if you guys aren't following my man Bob Carson over here, he's probably one of my favorite community members in DePIN. I mean, the guy gets deeply involved in a lot of projects. Really nice, worth a follow for sure. Very knowledgeable man. So shout out to Bob.
Classic Bob.
Classic Bob, for real.
Kind of an open question here. Besides DY, what excites you guys the most here in the next 3 to 6 months? Besides Surf Strike.
Besides Surf Strike. Well, I do want to say this. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of just kind of refinement and development with like setting up hardware installations, like it becoming much easier to do so, more accessible, of course. So I'm really pumped about that. But today, Silencio finally launched the passive noise measuring on your phone.
Did they really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
on
you
the
can.
Phone?
So yes, you update the app and you can actually passively measure. Now you don't have to actively measure. You can tell your phone when to measure and record noise pollution. And so,
are they a government entity yet, or no?
They're probably working with the FBI and the national intelligence agencies as we speak. They're probably brokering deals there, which is where all the value that comes from. All the tokens pumps from the FBI buying all these tokens. So.
This is what you guys wanted: revenue on chain,
and the advertising.
Yes, and the advertising. Yes.
Oh man, we're busting their chops, but it's love. We got a lot of love for the Silencio
If I
guys.
put it on, will it randomly play an ad out loud for everybody around me to hear it? Or no?
Yes, I know the ads are atrocious, but they need more money, so that's what you gotta do, man. All right, and the subscription. Hey, if you want to get a go ad free, bro, it's $3. $3 a month. It's $3 a month. Yeah.
It reminds me of that Black Mirror episode.
I know
Start
what
playing
you're
the
talking
ads.
about.
You
Yeah,
got to upgrade to get rid of the
You gotta
ads.
upgrade, turn them off. Yeah.
My kid thinks I don't know he's in the
Oh,
band.
I didn't look at that yet. So Bob's saying you can only earn 300 tokens passively, not that much. I mean, hey, if you get those multipliers up, dude, I have like almost a 500-day streak going on. So
500 days.
yeah, I kept it, man. I've been
I'm
doing it
gonna
every day.
steal your phone just so I ruin your streak. That's right.
Wow, that's messed up, man.
Yeah, that'd be really messed up, dude. I'd cry.
My whole thing
Yeah, it'd be
Next time we're
terrible.
together, just be mindful of that.
No.
I was gonna say my whole thing with the passive listening is like, well, what if the device is in someone's pocket? Like the microphone.
See, that's
out.
one of the issues is like people. When you get measurements, like you have to encourage people to like, obviously measure accurately, right? And so that was one of the gripes that someone I was talking to had with Silencio, where he's like, okay, well, how can they verify this data is any good? Because like, what if some guy just turns it on and puts it in his pocket? That's not going to be good at all. You're going to get all that noise. And I was like, that's a really good point. So I don't know if they have a way to combat that. They probably do, or they're probably developing it. But if it's just passively measuring, like I could definitely see that being a problem. So I don't know. Wait and see.
Can I have like a Bluetooth like lapel mic on and it just does its thing or no?
That's kind of what I was thinking, right? Is like, just
I don't know.
on your chest, or I don't know, like it just there's no way it could be in your pocket and get a good.
I know they turn like, so basically people, what they used to do is they would drive and measure, and so they could like map out way more hexes, but they got rid of that. Like you can't move too fast, otherwise the measuring stops. So yeah, they done did away with that. So I don't, maybe the pocket thing has a solution. I have no idea. Well, we'll certainly see. Let's hope. But I'm just happy they launched this thing that they said they're going to launch. So hell yeah.
Are they actually recording the verbiage and tracking that, or are they just the volume noise level?
They're repeat that.
So are they tracking like actually what's being heard, or is it they just
no? It's just DBAs. It's just DBAs. Yeah, they're not actually like listening to your phone call or listening to you talk to someone. 619 is like I think it's totally worthless data. I mean, noise pollution data has value. Again, it just depends on if the data they're collecting has any value, right? So I've talked to several people about this. Like there's pros to what they're doing. There's cons, of course. So we'll have to just really see. I know that it's an extremely small and niche market. And so the token being where it's at kind of makes sense, in my opinion, especially if they only have so much of the market share. Yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at. Like, granted, if this app alone or the way they're approaching it could evolve the market and make it worth way more, and that little slice of the pie they have then grows bigger, and thus token go up. But we'll have to see. I don't have a crystal ball, so I could be totally wrong. I downloaded a free app. I didn't spend any money on it. I actually walked a ton. I mapped out a whole parking lot. So
we should have Silencio on. It'd be fun to talk to the guys, because I'd be interested to know what the TAM of Silencio is, and
it's like $2 billion or $3 billion. But the whole thing is they're not stopping at noise pollution. They're trying to make the app like more dedicated to other bits of data as well, like collecting other valuable pieces of information aside from noise pollution, because they know they kind of box themselves in with noise pollution, and they're like, well, we need to make this a more universal app, universal DePIN, as opposed to just one trick pony.
I mean,
well, I think that's for the smaller DePIN projects. Especially the mobile projects, you have the ability to go into other use cases and pretty much copy paste and like change and do stuff. The question is can you provide enough utility or gamify the user experience to the point at which people would participate in the model, right? And can you set up a get product market fit to the point at where it's actually going to drive revenue? And that's the tough question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the market cap's super low. I mean, if you look at, I covered in one of my videos, like they're doing a lot of health studies now that's tied to noise pollution. And it's pretty wild. Some of the health issues developing from that, and Europe's taking it pretty seriously. I think the market will grow. They could also just like sell an NFT and do nothing.
Yeah,
What's the
exactly. They
market
could
cap
just
for
do that
Silencio?
too. So sorry for cutting you guys off. 619 and Haywood were making a good point about the static stations. So Haywood said something here. The static station, like static noise pollution measuring stations, like they have those in like Airbnbs, you know, like they'll like measure noise in an Airbnb that's like plugged into an outlet to make sure you're not being too loud. I have heard the argument that these would be better. These would be a better choice than something like Silencio. I see. I think they're right, but I also know why Silencio went the route they went, because it's like everyone has a smartphone, and you'll be able to capture a wider net of data with a smartphone, as opposed to just forcing people to buy these pieces of hardware and then like just having that one specific spot. Again, you can go either way, and yes, that argument has merits. It has pros. I mean, I think either way has pros and cons. And again, we'll see if the decision they made, the choice they made with the smartphone route, pays off. It might, and it might not. Who knows? I think they're awesome builders. And you're trying to share a screen, Brad. I see that here.
Yeah, I was just pulling up their
See,
chart and market cap.
I should be able to let you share your screen.
Did while he's bringing that up, I guess this kind of goes back to what we were saying initially about having standards, right? And it seems like a lot of folks are of the thought that having static stations is probably going to be a little bit more effective, because again, you can control what is being collected. I'm looking at the chart here. I mean, I am no analyst, but it's tough. A lot of DePIN projects are kind of.
I mean, it's founder support. Like if you go 3 months out, Brad, go 3 months out.
It's. But I'm saying the market cap's $4.5 million. I mean,
exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Like I think if we do see a resurgence here and we see an alt season, like those are the ones that are under 5 million that can like pump pretty hard. But the product market fit, like, yeah, there is. I do agree. There's a question about the quality of data. I am curious though too, like with this passive sharing of data, yeah, like how often is that going to be out, like on the table or in an area that's collecting solid data? That's the big question I have.
Yeah, and this is stuff the team has definitely thought about. Like, I worked extensively with them. Like, I've talked to them many times, and they're not going to willy-nilly release like garbage. Like they put a lot of thought into stuff. And so, granted, it's not always perfect. Like, everyone is human and they make mistakes, of course. So, but I just know that they've probably thought about that. So they probably have an answer for it. I don't know if it's implemented now or not, or in the future, but they will have an answer for that.
I love what Simeon is talking about. Weather XM plus Silencio team up. Shit, like
pretty cool.
That's the kind of thing I'm on. I feel like more DePIN should be.
We need more deep energy.
Oh, yeah.
I keep saying it. Deep energy, guys.
Absolutely. That's something I've been pushing for years. Projects tend to have trouble working together. Another one, like I know we're talking a lot about noise quality, but what about air quality? Remember when that was hot and that was new in DePIN? Remember ambient,
right?
Yeah. Why aren't they teaming up together with? It's a natural partnership.
It's Ambios now, by the way.
Oh, is it Ambios?
It's Ambios. Luca, yeah.
I think the issue is like it. I think I'm going down a rabbit hole. By the way, sorry. Your synergy you have together, like you have to. I think they can provide utility to one another and increase customer experience or contributor experience. But the problem is you won't necessarily drive sales for your project by partnerships. I could be completely wrong on that. But from what we're looking at right now is with Certistrike is how our gamification works on our network is we're providing utility. Our goal is to track data with storm data, specifically hail right now, because our low-hanging fruit is roofing, general contracting, insurance with actual ground impact hail data, right? But the way we're gamifying our app with contributors is we're providing utility by providing the weather forecast. So they go on there now they have a new app for the weather forecast and they check in. That's our proof of coverage. right? Whereas other projects, you're having to have gamification through streaks, through all these other systems. We're actually saying, no, we want to provide utility. We're a weather app. We should provide the weather. And I hate to say it, but I jump on other DePINs and that are weather DePINs. They don't have the freaking weather on their app. Why would I use their app? Right.
Yeah.
So,
that's what I like about Nubula Network so much is like, I just check the app for the weather and it's fairly accurate. So, I mean, it's just really nice and clean and it's right there. So, but we do have some questions I want to get to. So man, the chat is just blowing up.
Before we get into just because like, we're still like, I want
to. Yeah. Go for it.
Silencio, one of the earlier things that we talked about is like, why did Silencio go in this, like having an app route versus stationary? You know, Brian is also talking about how a certain other DePINs might have an app, but there's not real utility. It's like this gamified thing. I think for a lot of projects that have been raising, one of the big things that matters when you're raising money is, oh, well, how many users do you have? And there is nothing easier to do in Web3 than to say, hey, here's a mobile app. It's free for you to use, and then use that as metrics to say, we have 200,000 users on our network. We have 1 million users on our network.
Yeah.
People are gamifying the absolute hell out of that app. You know, people running 15 accounts or whatever. So I think that's like a long-standing problem, even outside of DePIN. That's kind of been the thing for like a lot of crypto, DeFi in particular. And it's just a way to kind of pump up the image, I think. A game maybe we have to play. I don't know. You know, I understand the VCs are taking on risk, but as a result, like now we're kind of in this situation where, again, like you're kind of questioning what is the purpose of this app? Like, why is it even around if it's not providing me the utility that the network is supposedly designed to provide?
The issue is, Quez, the issue is they're looking at a metric that's not revenue based because they don't need to get paid back based on the revenue that a project brings in. They get paid back generally based on the token price, right, being high.
Yeah.
So they're not looking at the right metrics first.
Looking for exposure. Yeah,
they're looking for
Yeah,
anyway,
that makes a lot of sense.
That's a scary part.
You know, like crypto-friendly VC generally is looking at that. They are looking at Discord activity. They're looking at X followers. Like, how much attention do you have? Those are, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking from having seen it myself now, but I would make the argument that if a lot of projects in DePIN are trying to raise, that is a game they play.
Yeah, they have to play. I feel like
have to play straight up.
Yeah. I do want to answer. I want to backlog some of these questions here.
Sorry.
So, Jay said it's all good, Quiz. I love that little take there, little input. Does it usually pump during alt season, or is DePIN a whole different sector? Guys, what are your thoughts?
We're still coupled with
let the economists take this one, bro. Come on.
We've talked about that a lot this week, actually, on different spaces. It's a good question. I think right now it is still very much tied to the rest of the altcoin sector, but I think it's starting to decouple. You know, if you look at GeoNet's a good example of that, where it has been less impacted than the rest of the projects. I think we've seen that over the last year. So, like,
now, would you attribute that to their tokenomic structure or their revenue?
I think it's both. So let me pull this up real quick. So if you look at the last year, one is not like the others, guys, and this is some of the deep. I can only do top 1,000 market caps in here, but look at all these in the massive red, and then GeoNet is kind of like, hey, you know what I mean?
We have revenue. That's what they're saying. We have revenue.
Yeah, they have revenue. They also, their tokenomics aren't such that like they gave a ton of tokens to investors and founders that unlocked in the first like 1 or 2 years, man. Like they have, 80%, I believe, of the tokens going to token burns, and their team unlocks are tied to milestones. Like they've structured in a way that not only are they executing on the revenue side, but the tokenomics are set up, I think, for success versus, some of these other projects, unfortunately, had a lot of emissions up front. And now we're seeing, I think, the detriment to that. So I think GeoNet is a good example of a decoupling and what can happen over time. And I think we'll see more projects do that. Like Helium down 32%, so less than the rest. There's an opportunity for Helium in the next year to become, net deflationary on emissions, because they have the halving coming up on next week, August 1st,
Yeah.
And I believe if they see like a 4x in revenue, which look at their trajectory, I think it's possible, they could actually get to a point where they're burning more tokens than they're emitting, which would be wild. I think they'd be the first DePIN to do it. So I think those are the types of projects that we will see decouple to an extent. I think there's always going to be some correlation to the market, but I think they'll be less impacted than some of the other ones.
AKA we all get rich. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least. So I hope that answers your question, Jay Soto. Anyone have any other takes on that or added points to that?
I just have a question of what do you think of the current trend that we're seeing with newer projects having post-revenue TGE? They're not doing TGE prior to revenue.
They're not. Wait, say that one more time. Sorry,
we have a new trend coming with projects that are waiting to do their TGE until they have revenue, until they're post-revenue.
Yeah, Daba's one. 375 AI is one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out. Exhibits is another one. There's a bunch of them now. Yeah, that they're still doing. They just haven't had their official token launch, but you're still kind of earning like pre-mined tokens, if you will, kind of.
Genesis tokens.
But I think
it's a whole new thing.
Testnet tokens.
Testnet tokens.
It's a CDO of a CDO. It's a synthetic CDO. It's a whole new thing.
A brand new paradigm.
Exactly.
I definitely think we're hitting that meta though too. I think like we're seeing a lot of really cool ideas come out of the DePIN space. I mean, heck, you see like exhibits there. You see like mentioned 375 AI, Daba Network, all these things actually already producing revenue in areas that they know where the demand is, and they know this thing will work. And they're like, hey, listen, we don't need to, I guess like do a bunch of VC funding rounds and launch a token to then fund our project and keep us alive long enough to hopefully find demand. They already have demand, and they already have customers, and now they just need to build this network out, get more funding from users like us via hardware sales, and then deploy the said hardware and then grow and make more money. So I think we're going to see that meta start really ramping up, especially in the DePIN space. I see another question here from CMH. Is the key to DePIN success in the hardware and availability? Are we past the days of waiting a year? Not going to lie, I'm definitely excited for the Seeker phone. I keep forgetting the Seeker phone's coming out.
Hey, the Seeker phone has RTK built in with GeoNet, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dude, this thing's gonna be sick. Oh my god, what am I buying,
that is crazy,
bro?
Yeah.
It's probably gonna have a
That's actually
fat
really
bonk
cool.
airdrop too, man. Damn it.
I got some alpha on almost let it slip on that Seeker phone, but I can't share it publicly.
Wait.
If it's already coming, it's coming out with GeoNet, like already kind of RTK things already in shit. All right, yeah, word. Yeah.
I think when we go back to hardware availability, hardware's so expensive to engineer and then produce. It's very hard for a startup that's not taking a lot of VC money to actually get hardware up and off the ground. So I think that we're going to see smarter plays with how entire corporations and DePIN projects are founded, because what they don't want to do is they don't want to sell their whole project off to VCs. They want to actually own their company, because essentially they are a company, right? And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that maybe slower growth with smarter business models is going to be a really good thing for DePIN.
I think I'm gonna pre-order this Solana Seeker right now. It's still available,
by the way.
What's up?
If it's available, I don't know.
I think it is. It says it is on their website.
I think Tashi mentioned something that they're doing some work there too, potentially.
Dude, what? Ken too? Oh my god! No,
Tashi's working with GeoNet on some stuff. Yeah.
I'm excited, dude. All the deep energy happening, it's just like growing and growing, and I love it. And then the word's going to become a thing, and they're going to say, "Oh, look, William was talking about this whole time." It's not a thing. It will be a thing, and I'm going to coin it and trademark the terms. Every time someone uses it, then I make money. It's going to be great. Jay Soto just got into DePIN through Deep Network that I just saw, so congrats, Jay Soto. This show is sponsored by Deep Network, so proudly sponsored by them. So we love Nate. We love the team. Love what they're doing over there. We all have devices, and we're rocking them, and they're great, man. Honestly, easy DePIN, plug and play, fantastic little thing, man. So heck yeah, happy to have you with us. Happy that you got into DePIN. Always great having more and more people get involved. Today's space went very well, by the way, Brad. Today's space with Empress.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
All of her DMs are just flooded. People like want to talk to us. So like, can you connect me with like Brad, Tyler, and Will? Man, like I need to talk to these guys and pick their brains even more. So yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm excited. We're probably gonna do that space again, which I mean, I'm hoping all of us can go this time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Be stick.
That was fun,
I did want to make a point real quick, which was regarding hardware. Yeah, so a lot of companies are taking on tremendous cost, or in other words, needing VC money to see through the cost of hardware production. And I think just like there's this grand irony in like crypto and DePIN, like how all of this is a flat circle where we like what's been done before is kind of being done again, but almost on new rails. If not for the philosophy, at least for the efficiency. And I believe that at some point, and we already saw this with GeoNet and WingBits, we're going to see a lot more collaborations on hardware. Like if you have a piece of hardware that is modular, very powerful, and in a really great location, like why not partner with that provider or that service provider and just leverage their compute or their resources and add on your sensor or add on like whatever software stack that you created. Like you wouldn't need to take on those costs yourself. And that's actually going to ramp up availability even more because now you can have a ton of this made available way ahead of time, knowing that you have demand not just for this one single product, but an array of them, especially if they're all on one machine.
Yeah,
I happen to know of a particular machine, but
like a 375 Edge. That's on like maybe on billboards in high traffic areas. I don't know.
He didn't say it. That guy did. He said it, not me.
Just a wild
guess. My first reaction to seeing that price tag was like, "Holy crap, that's expensive!" I was like, "What?"
Oh, the 375.
No,
price?
yes,
yeah.
I was like, "That's gotta be awesome."
Honestly, when I saw that price tag, what it did for me was actually solid. Like it made 375 a real contender because I was like, wait a minute, they wouldn't advertise this price or this product if they weren't serious, if they weren't like completely serious. Because it's almost like you look at that price tag and you laugh for a second, you're like, huh, what? But at the same time, when you think about it, you start looking into it, you're like, oh, it makes sense. So
you know what's crazy though about that is they had one group reach out that wanted to buy all 50 and they didn't allow it because they wanted to keep it decentralized. So like I don't think any shortage of buyers, but they're also going to do fractional ownership soon, so they'll be able to lower that barrier to entry. I think it's gonna be pretty solid.
Yeah, that's gonna be. We touched on fractional ownership a little bit this week on Spaces. On the DABA space, we talked about it a little bit. What are our thoughts on that? Like the future of DePIN and fractals and fractional ownership of devices. I would love, Russ. You've been quietly thinking over there, quietly hanging out. I would love your take on fractionalization in DePIN.
Yeah, it's been tried a couple times. There's a lot of people who want to get into that and saying, hey, I just want to buy. I'm okay to share it with the deployer. The problem has always been, what is a fair split? Is it 70-30, 60-40, 50-50? And the measure between having that hardware stay up, like I just talked to somebody this week about it who said, hey, throw some hardware on our decentralized ownership platform. I said, sure, but like we're just concerned, how do we keep it up and long term? Well, it's all about getting the economics right. So the person who wants to buy it, always wants like 90% of it and just give 10% to the person taking care of it. I don't know if that split's been figured out yet. I think it depends on who's having it up. I've had a lot of discussions about it as well. For hardware that is, I think, incredibly expensive and hard to put up, I think it would make sense if the projects put it up themselves and they were the independent arbiter of it, versus working maybe sometimes, unless you work with really professional deployers, because when the project owns and controls it, they can kind of take on that customer support for it. Customer support's a big problem in DePIN. Big problem. How many projects have you had problems with? And it's like, go to the Discord, talk to somebody, open a ticket.
To the Discord.
Yeah, like Discord is not support. Yeah. Okay, a phone number is support.
For real.
Yeah.
What's up, Tyler?
What's up, guys?
What's up, man? What's up?
Hey, Russ.
Russ was talking about customer support and DePIN. He was just finishing his point on that, I believe.
About how much it sucks to have to go into Discord to get support, and which I know that you are also a big hater of Discord.
I'm a hater of the Discord server. Let me tell you. Russ, good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good. We've been busy. We've had we're dropping. We got some little places like SeaWorld and maybe Disney World and a couple airports. Just little guys
making me look like a chump, dude.
Just a couple of the big names that no one's heard of, right?
Yeah. We're trying to kind of the discussion we started out with today. Let's get professional. Let's get big.
I love it.
That's so true. Flock of seagulls. It's such a good dude. I can't unsee it.
It's coming from a good place.
I love it. Wow, Quez, you sound crispy, my friend.
I know, dude. Right? He got his whole mic set up. He's got a Roadcaster now. Do the thing, Quez. Do the thing.
We'll do a different one. I'll give you a good one.
I can't wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already pre-ordered your Deep device, now is the time. We have a DIN sale, DIN NFT sale happening. You can actually get it at the link down below. Do yourself a favor and get ahead on that, because if not, it's going to run out. And we're going to need you to support the network. We're proudly sponsored by Deep Network. Shout out to Nate and all the guys for being a part of this awesome adventure. This has been brought to you by the DePIN Happy Hour.
Okay, so if Quez...
And we're back on the show. What's going on?
If Quez doesn't make it in Web3, I suggest you go back to college and become a DJ for one of the local college stations, because you've got a shoe-in for sure.
Good morning.
I'm telling you, dude, like this is something I wanted to do for a long time. It's like be a radio host, and I'm so grateful when I started with 375. That was something I was doing every week. I was hosting like my own radio show, and I would play music, I would chop it up, I would do all my clips. Like it was mad cool.
Really?
I'm excited to, I guess, like a little sneak peek of what's coming ahead. But like next Wednesday, we will be kind of restarting the space, and I have a few guests in mind. These people, over here. Would be great.
By the way, Simon hit the nail on the head. I'm super excited for that quest. Simon hit the nail on the head. There's a lack of RGB. If I wasn't on the road, I'd have RGB in the background. We need to set that up for everybody.
Yeah, we need that.
I have some wall lights not plugged in for some reason. I'll plug those in right now.
I have culture.
I don't have a house.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna go cry now. Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna go cry in a corner.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So SeaWorld, Disney World, right?
Right.
Sports.
He can do better. Seriously, he's got to elevate himself a little bit more. All right. I don't know how to get better.
Well, I'll be talking to legislators on Monday in Washington, D.C. So
wow.
Maybe one day the White House. We'll see.
Nuclear submarines. I think that's the next step. Yeah.
That'd be a dream. Yeah. Well, I'm ready to get into airports. Got to deal with TSA and Homeland Security. So it's not a huge jump.
Crazy. I don't even know where to go from that, guys.
Wait, what did I miss?
Russ is just crushing it.
Yeah. No, listening to Russ continue to talk about these amazing deals, it got me really excited at first, but then I started feeling like inadequacy and despair, and I was just like, damn, I could never match up to that.
No. That should be inspiration. That's what
it is. Inspiration.
This is I keep telling people don't there's so much opportunity out there. The problem is that we need to move from weekend warriors to professional businessmen. Yes. And you need to appear professional, be professional, have support, have templates, have legal entity, have legal. We're getting past the point now where you're just throwing up hotspots. It's now you have to professionally install a GeoNet miner and do your homework. If it's not a professional install, you're not going to earn. You're not going to get the satellites. It's the same way coming up now, I think, with deep nodes. You need bandwidth. You need to set aside the IPs. You need to have the ports opened up. You can't just throw them on your internet and stream. I know there's more and more of these kind of boxes coming up. So, as this comes up here, I think more professional operators come up. And how does that go in? There's still going to be room for everybody, for everyone who's going in. Lots of respect to people out there, just on the stream here, people saying, hey, I'm out there pounding pavement, making deals. Those are hard-won deals. And there's going to be some real profitable deals in there. I've had restaurants outperform, conference centers. Like,
Oh,
you wouldn't
100%.
believe it. It's amazing. Like offload, you can't predict what you're going to get until it's up and running.
Yeah.
You can estimate it. So that's how we estimate our estimates, is we go off our network and what we're seeing, because that's all we can tell you is this is what we see. This is our estimate. I can't tell you exactly what you'll get, but here's my estimate. So, because a lot of people, when you're pitching them, they're like, oh, all right, I guess it's worth enough to roll on it. All right, I'll do a pilot, or I'll put it in or install it. We'll see how it goes for a month. You're just trying to that's the hump. Get over that trust hump of that first deployment. Once that money hits their wallet or bank account, they're hooked. They're like, I need some more. Give me that next one. Let's do more. Let's do them all. Like, usually after that, they get excited. And
I'm trying to like work my way up to pitch to Florida State, and start doing like other colleges, because I live in Tallahassee. I went to Florida State. I'm an alumni, and like obviously I have some connects there. I can try to get in the door, and I'm just trying to get myself enough experience and build up a little bit more of a portfolio so that I know how to navigate the conversation without like jumping the gun too early and fucking up.
Yeah,
for lack of a better term, and just literally fucking the deal up. So
universities are great right now because a lot of them are seeing declining enrollment, so they're hungry for revenue.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah,
it's like AI and the internet just like exist, and you don't need to go to college anymore.
Yo, fun fact. So like totally unrelated to DePIN, but I love that you brought this up. My girlfriend was talking to me the other day about like, like you're still so like trying to learn new stuff. You're always like trying to do like, why don't you go back to school and like go for your master's? And I'm just like, but for what though? Like almost anything I could think of, I could learn online for free.
Master's degree is all about networking, dude. Like I got my master's, and like we sat there and they're like, hey, listen, so you're probably not going to learn much. You're just here to network with each other, and thank you for the $20,000. And I was like, damn it.
When I finished my undergrad, I was considering going straight into my master's, and my capstone professor told me the same thing. He's like, this is a networking opportunity. He's like, you're better off if you want to do it waiting so that you can do exactly that. Like, actually have a career, have a reason to network. So it seems you're confirming what I've been told.
Yeah, it wasn't like an entire waste of money, because the people I did meet we ended up doing things together. I got business opportunities for it, and it's awesome. I made a lot of good friends too, and I still talk to them to this day. One of my classmates was on Shark Tank, actually. Yeah, so that's a good connect.
Did they get an investment on Shark Tank?
Yeah, they did. Lori invested into their
company.
Really?
That's super cool.
Yeah, so it was oh my God, what's it called? Nightcap it with the drink.
You know what? You did mention that. Yeah, that's a really cool idea.
The drink cover scrunchie. Yeah, I helped Michael, what's his name? Yeah, Michael, with his accounting homework all the time. Like, we'd sit down and do accounting homework. Nice. So I should probably hit him up and see if he wants to do like a hotspot Wombo combo deal, because I know he's doing his company has deals with bars and like has deals with a lot of different areas. So maybe I could get some cell phone coverage in there. Who knows?
Feels like a good lead gen opportunity.
Yes.
Honestly, the idea of doing homework again is probably the biggest in studying for tests. Like I love school when I was in it, and I did well in school, but it just sounds like something I don't have any desire to take.
I kind of miss it. I miss the ease of the workflow of like, learn this thing and repeat it and memorize it, and then prove to us that you have memorized it. And it felt good, like getting like an A on a test. I was like, I'm good. I'm solid, man.
Yeah.
I remember I failed my very first differential equations exam. I got like a 12 out of 100.
Nice.
And I walked up, and the professor would like, it wasn't even a professor, it was a GA. And then he was like, yo, can you talk to me after class? And I was like, yeah, I don't think this is where you're supposed to be. And I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. And I walked, and then I realized that I actually didn't need differential equations for my degree, so I dropped out.
Nice.
Yeah,
I don't really use anything I learned. I know some of the investing stuff I learned I still use to this day. Accounting I use for the business, of course. Accounting was a fun class. I liked learning accounting. It was like helped me understand a lot more about like finance, money, and everything. And I was like, oh yeah, this is like awesome. I love this. Everyone else was like, oh my God, this is so boring. I hate it. And I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the weirdo.
I graduated as a software engineer, and I live in Discord 24/7.
Hey, Discord's the best place. The internet is like the best like it's the best networking and education opportunity out there.
100%.
Along combined with AI, like that's why that's like I make a joke that college is irrelevant now, but I mean it kind of is. Like, yeah, I mean unless the college has like a proprietary AI that like is badass, maybe they start making their own AIs and like, oh, Florida State's AI is like way better rated than UF's AI, which I don't even think UF would have an AI. They all live in a swamp out there, so.
Hey, we're in a swamp down here too, buddy.
Yeah,
but
true.
the actual Everglades are. Yo, Simeon is saying, business opportunities aside, if your goal is education, have you all not been in DePIN long enough to learn how to do research? Listen, buddy, all right, figuring things out as I go. All right, I just decided what I needed to have for breakfast a few hours ago. But real world research and education beats private any day. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I think there's a lot of really powerful tools out there, and I mean, ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. Like you can get a lot more done today. You can be a 10x human today more than any other time. Like there's never been an opportunity to be a 10x human like there is today.
Agreed.
Yeah, Tyler and I were talking about that because like when we bring people on to interview like the founders of these projects, like you have to know their project inside and out. Like Daba, even like the amount of that I learned about Daba's or India's demographics, just researching for that interview and doing my deep dive on that video. Like that's one of the best things about being in the space is like you become like a wealth of knowledge in a lot of different areas.
Yeah,
which is freaking awesome, man. Like constantly learning, like every day, way more than I did like in my prior jobs. Like a lot of my jobs just got to be like freaking arduous, man. Like I think this space is so fun because there's so many different projects, so many different areas. It's pretty fun actually.
What's super cool is there's just to tell us all about the DePIN. I just listened to a bunch of songs. Real, so real. You know what?
So true, dude. So
exactly where you need to.
And we appreciate it. The drunks have all the knowledge. All
Cheers.
Right?
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go make a drink real quick.
I am too. Give me a second.
Negroni? Negroni? Yeah, he's making Negroni.
Yes.
Love that. But no, I was gonna. Damn, I actually lost my train of thought. Fuck.
You have a train in your head of thoughts?
I'm gonna have to open a bottle of wine or something.
I might have to. I'm not gonna lie, I got pretty toasted last night, so I've been taking
the entire
easy
screen
today.
goes dark as everything needs for a drink.
Someone had to make a comment about people drinking, and then we're just like, all right. So I've got my maker's mark. This is the last one I have is like basically a warm up sip, so I'll pour like an actual glass. But
there you go.
Now you're getting caught up with us. Yeah, that's what we like. We need to see.
I'm glad to be here. I did not think I was gonna make. Well, I'm late as hell, but it is.
No, you're fine. Hey, better late than never, right?
We're trying. Okay, so I did. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Quez.
No, I can't fucking remember it now. So
it's gonna bother him. He's gonna like remember. I think at like 11 o'clock tonight, he's like laying in bed and he's like, "Oh, there it is."
Yeah. We like restart the stream, laying in bed. I wanted to go back to one question that Jay Soto 3 said, which was, "All right, I need some alpha. What is the best token to buy in DePIN right now?" Which is a good and hard question because I don't know if I could give you a single answer. Maybe we should start with Russ.
I would earn the tokens. I would not buy them. That's what I would do.
Dude, that's a great take. That's a really great take, actually.
Yeah, if you want to get involved in like more DePIN projects outside of Deep, I mean, just like go on your computer right now, Jay Soto, and download like 6 of the Chrome extensions or 10 of the Chrome extensions out there.
Okay, how many extensions actually earn money at this point?
Oh, so only Grass has their token launched right now. Everyone else is pre-TGE. Like, so Gradient doesn't have a token, Dawn doesn't have a token, Tenio doesn't have a token, Kaiser doesn't have a token, Bless doesn't have a token.
That Bitcoin. That's a great answer. GeoNet was a good answer. That's usually like my safe bet is GeoNet. But honestly, I'm kind of with you. I like rotate a lot of my DePIN stuff now into Bitcoin.
Savings 100%.
Bitcoin is the ultimate game plan in my book too. But outside of doing like covered calls on my like iBits and everything, so I'm buying. Yeah,
I was about to ask Brian, are you drinking champagne?
It was a bottle of prosecco that just.
You just hear his kid crying, like got hit by the cork. He's like,
man.
ah!
He gave his kid a black eye on the DePIN happy hour.
Did you see that thing?
Domestic abuse, ladies and gentlemen.
Holy cow!
Wait, what did I just walk
literally-
back into?
He
Brian
shot
popped
a
the
cork
ball.
bottle at his kid.
Dude, I loosened up the cork and it literally decided to shoot. I think it just hit the ceiling. Holy crap!
He just put a hole through the ceiling.
It did not put a hole through the ceiling. I don't even know where the cork went.
It hit your kid and bounced off.
See,
My
like
kid was sleeping.
619 makes me feel less bad about drinking. See, the signing of the Constitution, which included 54 bottles of Madeira, 60 bottles of Claret, 8 bottles of whiskey, 22 bottles of porter, 8 bottles of cider, 12 bottles of beer, and 7 bowls of punch.
2 hits from the bong.
Back in the day.
Oh man, that's gonna be the next
Some
DePIN
bonus
project. We have a toothbrush. We need a bong now. We had Vape Labs on.
Oh,
Mhm.
dude, Haywood he said someone just earned some bonus Silencio bucks because you just made a shitload of noise with your.
Okay, actually,
That scared the crap out of me, by the way.
I'm kind of surprised, Brian, that now that you said it, that we haven't seen a
Druggy DePIN.
real grass DePIN device.
Mhm.
I mean,
It'll happen.
We have vape dimmer.
now with all the increase of like decriminalization in marijuana, like probably. I mean, like
We're gonna have a weed DePIN project. Is that what you're talking about?
probably. I mean, I saw a video from Peak where they were working with GE, I think it was, General Electric, and they were like growing strawberries on this rotating spiral or something like that. And it just got me thinking, like, if we're already bringing machine, I mean, I know we've had machinery out in agriculture for a while, but it's only a matter of time before we start seeing that with other harvests, let's say.
Not like weed. Or you're like you get like 10 tokens for like blowing a line. Where's this gonna go?
We call it Coke Down. Coke Down.
Come on, guys.
Pablo Escobar is just saying shout out to Brad right now.
It's called D-powder. D-powder.
Oh,
deep
Brian's
powder.
got the Chick-fil-A fries going, man. You had to do
Ooh, you gotta get that Chick-fil-A sauce. Oh, so good.
When I go to Chick-fil-A, I always they always ask like, "Sir, would you like any sauce?" I say, "Yes, of course. I'd like an absurd amount of Chick-fil-A sauce."
Absurd
And he-
amount.
What do you? So how many? And I was like an absurd amount, like whatever you look at, and you're like, "This is a ridiculous amount of sauce." Like that's how much I want. And then they say, "Oh, sir, but do you know that we have these bottles?" And I was like, I don't want the fucking bottle. I want the free sauce."
Okay, by the
I don't
way,
want the box.
6
Give me the free sauce.
proof of token pot would be like the greatest name if someone did roll out one of these things. I'm not into that stuff, but if someone did it, I bet it would do really well.
619, you're hired. You're hired as the marketing guy.
Launch that on Bonk, man.
He's
Let's
gonna
get on
cry.
that.
619.
Launch that meme coin.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Get that on Bonk, man.
Pump
That thing
on.
will fly.
Yeah, right.
What do
Did you guys see the this is totally off topic. I just remembered this. I saw something hilarious today on TikTok. My friend sent me a viral TikTok that's been going around of the Chuck E. Cheese mouse getting arrested.
In Tallahassee.
Yeah, in Tallahassee, bro. That's right next to my house, dude. That's like not far at all. The
Like
Chuck E.
credit
Cheese
card
got
fraud or
busted
something
for
like
credit
that?
card fraud. It's
Yeah.
right next to one of the
What?
most dangerous. Yeah. So they're arresting the guy. He stole the Chuck E.
Is
Cheese.
it his
outfit.
mascot?
Yeah,
Still.
they take the mascot helmet
Oh
off
my
him. He's got
God.
the gloves and everything. It's so funny. Dude.
Oh man.
But I saw that. I was like, is that Pockets next to it? I was like, is it Pockets pool bar? And I was like, oh my God, it is. I was like, that's right next to my house. I was like, holy shit.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I
Yo.
thought I'd point that out.
Yeah, I'm reading in the deep Discord, and shout out to Bob again, talking about. I know Brad is big on Arweave, and I actually like
am.
Arweave quite a lot.
Yeah.
Would love to get some of your thoughts if you want to expand on what the folks over there are working on.
Yeah, they're doing permanent storage. So they've got a setup that you pay because a lot of these, like like Filecoin, for example, like nothing negative necessarily about Filecoin, but like they had a lot of emissions early, and they're doing temporary storage, and it's like the storage costs have been driven down a lot. Permanent storage, though, the sector Arweave's hitting, it's your files are stored on the blockchain forever, and they have a lot of blockchains that are storing data on Arweave. They have a lot of NFT collections that are being stored on Arweave, and if you look at that ecosystem, I think it's wildly undervalued. And AO is like a supercomputer project built on top of Arweave, and then you have like REO, which is kind of like an indexing layer. If you think about like Arweave being the digital library that's there forever, and like REO is kind of your digital librarian that's grabbing the files you need. So, I've got pretty solid exposure. I wish I even had more, but I've got pretty solid exposure to that ecosystem. I think it's poised to do really well, and people are definitely sleeping on that project.
It's started to catch up a little bit, though.
It is starting to catch up a little bit. I think it's up and it got down below $5, and then it was closing on like $8 recently again. But I think it could, not financial advice, I think it could go much higher.
They were one of the very first, because like when I first got into like NFTs, like just crypto, I guess in general, I was writing my own smart contracts, and our drive was actually one of the very, very first products I ever used. Like, just permanent storage, and it was so easy, so simple. I had experience already as a developer, but I just felt like it wasn't all that complicated. Like even a regular person could use their products. So big on what the guys over at Arweave are working on. I think it's a much more important than, I don't want to just say much more important, but like much more impactful than folks might give credit for. Shout out to Johnny. Thanks for the financial advice. Yeah, let me just very, very clearly, absolutely nothing that we say on this show should be considered or construed as financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Anything that you do is your own risk, and the people who are here may or may not own some of the tokens that we talk about. So do things at your own disclosure, despair. I don't know. Whatever fits in there.
And if you sue anybody for the price going down, Brad was the one that gave the suggestion. So just send all your legal inquiries to him.
You have a PO box, right, Brad? They can send all that to you.
Yes,
my audio is not working, guys. I don't know what's going
on. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, I am. Outside of the permanent storage efforts, the hyper parallel computer they're building or that they've built is pretty remarkable.
Isn't that AR?
Yes.
Is that the
AO?
AO.
Yeah, it is. It's freaking crazy. Yeah.
I had Sam on the pod in like April, somewhere in that time frame, and it was one of those where you came away and you're like, God, there's some people out there that are very, very smart, and I felt like I was doing my very best to keep up on the technical front because he's a true computer scientist through and through. The best compliment I got on that after the fact, though, is he's like, so what's your background? Because you have a pretty good understanding of like Bitcoin architecture. Because we were going into some of the weeds on a few, like one of the early implementation details of Bitcoin was they used, or Satoshi used this thing called the Berkeley DB, which is kind of an interesting decision. It was like very academic. And so he and I had a 20-minute conversation just on that. He's like, how do you know this stuff? Like, not a lot of people know about that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just weird. Fit all these like random interest decisions or boxes. But
yeah, it's one that I recommend definitely taking a look at and doing some research on that project.
Yeah.
I think there's something like 20 other blockchains that are storing their data on Arweave right now. If you look at the metrics, I mean, they're through the roof.
Well, it's sort of, I mean, for everybody, like to Quez's point in NFTs or anything that you want to store where you're sort of persisting some data off chain that gets pointed back to either a contract address or whatever it is, that's kind of the best option that you have out there. So
IPFS is not permanent storage. Just is decentralized storage to some extent.
It's interplanetary, but
yeah, but it is not a permanent storage solution. Just saying.
Yeah. Guys, I know we've talked about a lot. I know we all have very busy schedules, so let's go ahead and wrap things up here. What are some final thoughts or takes you want to leave people with? I'm Tyler. Since you're late, I'm gonna make you go first, and then we'll go around the room. We'll go to Russ too after and everything.
That's a good question. My take, I feel like I've said this on the stream before, but you said it earlier, so it re-inspired this, is that I think the next evolution is not going to be people buying as many tokens. It'll be people earning them through these various networks. I would rather spend $250 on a hotspot or a device and have that ROI over 6 months, 12 months, a year and a half, and eventually it's basically just free money. And so I think once that narrative catches on, there'll be there'll be a big wave of people who want to earn, not to necessarily buy. So I think that's the final take. Earn, don't buy.
Earn, don't buy. Love it. We'll go to you, Brad, and then Brian, and then we'll go to Russ, and then myself, and then we'll have Quez take us home.
All right,
Brad, go for it.
I'm going to show you a way that you can use Arweave on X.
Gotcha. Bam.
Okay.
Here you go.
So if you see a post that you want to permanently store into this timeline, in the comments, just put @PermaButlerSave, and you'll see on the timeline, like these are.
Oh no,
posts.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, so a lot of people put Hulk on there today, but there's a lot of posts. So if you see any posts that you want to have stored in this timeline permanently in the Arweave architecture, you can comment that below, and it'll stick in there. So that's kind of cool.
Rest in peace, Ozzy, too.
Both in the same week.
Yeah, what a rough week, guys.
Dude, right?
2025's not been great.
Brian, it's on you.
So here's the deal. We've all been trained to be consumers our entire lives, and DePIN provides a way for you to become a producer, a supplier of infrastructure and goods. So start retraining yourself, become a producer instead of a consumer.
Love it. Russ?
Yeah, I would say, coming from being a small-time deployer and getting bigger, don't get intimidated. Don't get scared of the big guys. Don't get scared of projects either. Keep grinding. Don't look at the odds of like, oh, wow, I don't have these fantastic locations. Grind it out. Start local. You have a huge advantage by being there in person, hitting the pavement, putting the effort in shows a lot. And even if you're just doing this a little bit, it can make a big impact. A small change of just 1% a day makes a huge impact after a year or 2 years. And you start stacking up, whether it's tokens, whether it's projects, whether it's miners, it starts adding up big time. And as you're doing that, you're going to learn along the way, make mistakes, learn from them, keep growing. And one day, hopefully you won't have to worry about getting a house as much. But that's what I'd say. Don't give up, keep grinding, and stay positive.
Wise words from Russ. Very, very wise words from everyone, honestly. Keep grinding. Be 1% better every day. I'll echo what Tyler said. I keep seeing a lot of people talk a bunch of garbage about DePIN and say, oh, yeah, look at that. Like the token price and like market doesn't look like it's doing so hot. And I'm like, well, dude, like you're looking at the token price. I'm looking at earning more of those tokens. Like I'm creating revenue streams. I'm not worried about buying this thing and then dumping it later. I'm worried about earning more and more of those tokens. So we are in a DePIN bull market. We said today, Brad, on a space today. I think we're in a DePIN bull market. We see charts just going up and to the right with hotspots deployed, data offloaded in Helium's case. People purchasing, people utilizing the GeoNet network and the WingBits network, of course, too. Like those numbers just keep going up. So a DePIN bull market. Here we go. Super, super stoked, guys. Thank you, listeners, watchers, viewers. Thank you so much for watching us fool around, drink some drinks, and talk some DePIN. But Quez, I'm going to pass it to you to take us away, and I'm going to share my screen here for you.
Nice.
It's been another one of those special moments. Yes, that happened right here on the DePIN Happy Hour. And if I may, I just want to walk you through something, all right, which is the following. You're looking on your screen, the first ever, currently going DIN software license NFT available for sale thanks to our partners over at the Deep Network. They are our sponsors. Very grateful for a lot of the work that they've been doing, and you could have some upside in what's going on in DePIN. You should purchase yours today. Join the Discord if you haven't already. That's where a lot of the magic is happening as well. We're very grateful and excited for the next episode. I will say this, if I may just have my last piece, which is ask questions. Like, yes, it is a DePIN bull market, but this shit right here is the next 5 to 10 years easy. So if you are asking questions, if you're going out there and you're learning from people who have made the mistakes already, who have tried to do things, failed, whatever, like learn from them. I DM people all day, every day that I don't know. And almost always it's like very kind replies. People are willing to jump on a call. Of course, be skeptical. You should have good operational security, But
here's our password.
Yeah. Don't share your seed phrase. But this is a good time, man. And we appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. It's been another awesome episode of the DePIN Happy Hour. If it's cool with you guys, I'm gonna just bring us out. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Some magic, baby.
Love it.
We're all gonna get copyright striked.
Catch us again next week, guys. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there. Quez, thank you so much for the tunes. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Good night.
Good night, guys.